Oh my goodness, dude. It's just getting more and more interesting by each hour of each day at Microsoft, at Xbox. Like, it's just getting more and more interesting by each and every single hour. So, now, since our previous video about the Xbox with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond stepping down as the CEOs and vice president and whatnot, stuff has just been getting a lot more interesting about the brand. And now there is actually reports coming out that this is an Xbox marketing campaign was all Sarah Bond's plan and Sarah Bond's idea. And honestly, like, yeah, like it was a stupid idea. Like it was absolutely so stupid and so incredibly dumb that like it just like she just doesn't know what business truly really is. And this ain't just with gaming, but if you are like a CEO and something like that, that's like pretty much saying like if say like somebody is a higher up executive for the company Walmart, okay? That's like saying, "Oh, hey, everything is Walmart because they sell the same stuff. Best Buy is a Walmart." You see how retarded and stupid that sounds? Like that was just so awful of her. And actually, there has been reports that a lot of the Xbox fans are truly happy that she left. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, a lot of the Xbox fans are really stoked that she is actually no longer in the company. But things are just getting more and more interesting, like I mentioned, by the hour, especially with Asha Sharman, which is the new CEO's name that is behind Xbox now, that was behind the core AI related stuff. And she just doesn't feel like a good fit for Xbox. But like I mentioned, and I will just have to wait and see like what time is going to tell in the next like 2 to 3 years if she can actually do it. But I can almost promise you that she's just like more likely she's not going to turn things around. But hopefully I'm wrong and hopefully she does. But it's just this has just not been a very good weekend and beginning of the week with Xbox with all of these information about the CEOs, Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, Asha Sharman, and then even more worse news about mostly like the whole decision making was because of Satya Nadella, which is actually a higher up Microsoft at Microsoft alone, not just the head of Xbox or Microsoft Gaming. He is the more executive. And in some cases, with all of this stuff that's been said, he's also not very bright in the head either. And yeah, it's just been a wild weekend and a wild beginning of this week with all of this stuff going on. Like I just don't get how this is. But we do have like the reports saying that Sarah's Bond, this is a marketing or this is an Xbox marketing campaign, was her idea. And like I said, that's just essentially like saying like, oh yeah, well the stores like Best Buy, yeah, I work for Walmart, but yeah, Best Buy sells the exact same stuff. Hey, they're a Walmart too, and no, they're not. Best Buy is not a Walmart for one, because of one, the TVs that we end up getting. Yes, Walmart's got all the TVs that you can buy on the website, but going into store, Walmart, when it comes to TV electronics, they only have the more budget, cheap, friendly TVs, where Best Buy has got those and the higher up premium, more pricier ones. So that wouldn't make any sense. So that's essentially the same thing with freaking this is an Xbox campaign saying like your TV is one and your PlayStation is one. And what's honestly crazy is there's been rumors that we've been hearing since the late 8th generation consoles going into the ninth gen that PlayStation was going to be getting, like Xbox Game Pass was going to be coming to the PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2 whenever it came out, which is already out now and it's going to be out for a year in just a couple more months. But there was rumors at the end of the Xbox One and beginning of the current generation that Game Pass was going to be coming to like PlayStation and Nintendo systems. And then Sony was like, yeah, no, we're not going to be doing that because that's not us. And honestly, Sony has the right to do that. And and honestly, I think it was really, really smart that Sony, however, did do that. So, and then that's another thing for another disaster alone is the Xbox Game Pass strategy that Phil Spencer in the recent years was basically just worried about and actually not worried about selling games. And I do think and I do believe that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond didn't just leave or retire. I think that they were basically pushed out the door because of the mistakes that they have been making. Now, Phil Spencer early on when he took over after the whole disaster with Don Matrick with the Xbox One, when Phil Spencer actually took over in 2014, he was really making it gaming friendly, making the gamers like be the main focus and doing what's right. I mean, like, yeah, the Xbox One may not be as successful of a console as the PlayStation 4 did, but it surely is doing better than what the Xbox Series X and S consoles are doing. And you actually had a decent selection of first party games, even if they came to PC, but you had them only for the Xbox for console gaming related. So games like Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 5 Guardians, Forza Horizon 3. I mean, Gears of War 4, Gears 5, like it was starting to look like he was starting to turn things around. Then in 2017, we had the most powerful console ever, the Xbox One X, the console that honestly, still to this day, still looks good and still plays games good. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it might be like 9 years old at this point, going to be, but it's still a fairly good console still to this day in 2026. And then we got in some games that actually did take advantage of the horsepower of the One X and ended up coming out looking better than even the PlayStation 4 Pro did. And then we get to the Xbox Series X and he was still doing great. And then things started going to the other direction. I believe in late 2022, early 2023, with the whole Activision Blizzard deal that was going on. And then when 2024 came, that was when the whole Sarah Bond marketing campaign, this is an Xbox campaign, ended up happening. And then last year ever was the worst, year on record in terms of game sales, Xbox hardware sales, and then you got like stuff like the consoles going up in price like twice already, and it's more expensive to get an Xbox Series X than a PlayStation 5 and a Nintendo Switch 2. So, yeah, in 2025 was a disaster, but really that this is an Xbox marketing campaign was the most disastrous that Xbox has ever seen, and I believe that it was Sarah Bond's plan who actually did it. So that was a lot, but yeah, Xbox is just not in a very good position right now, and I'm actually worried about the future if they can honestly recover from it. But the new CEO doesn't seem like a very good one, but even though she works in the AI, she might actually turn things around and hopefully I'm wrong and she actually does turn things around for the Xbox brand because I love Nintendo systems for the Mario games. I love PlayStation. I've been playing my PlayStation 5s and my new PS5 Slims that I just got, but I also like Xbox as a brand and as a console as well. And I like to go back to the old route where you have your own games and own first party games that you can play on individual systems like exclusives and such like that, because I love to experience Halo on Xbox, and that's enticing me to play an Xbox, just like Uncharted for PlayStation and Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo. I love having different awesome experiences that have good games on each individual system, and that is why I play both Xbox and PlayStation as well as Nintendo, because I love to experience games on both worlds, or I should say all worlds, not both. But you get my point between PlayStation and Xbox mainly. So hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully she does good and she turns things around. But right now, a lot of people just aren't looking forward to it and just think that it's truly going to be the end of the brand altogether. And Satya Nadella is one of the other big reasons who's behind killing the brand as well, and does not care about business or gaming at all. Even though gaming is the more strong business, like gaming is like the most entertainment that just makes billions upon billions of dollars. Satya Nadella just like, yeah, no, it's going to be under my umbrella, even if I do the wrong choices. So yeah, it it's just Xbox. Like I just I just don't know. Just a lot that has been going on over the last few days. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Rate if you like this video, and comment down below of your thoughts of all the stuff that we have mentioned about Cerebon's marketing campaign, that this is an Xbox, and the Phil Spencer leaving, and Asha Sharman and AI core processing, or whatever the heck it was, that's taking over the brand. On, do you have any hopes that she could do better and she might listen to feedback and just might have a stronger heart toward people and wants to do what's good for them? Like, just let us know in the comment section down below of all the stuff that we mentioned about Xbox that we have been hearing for the last few days. And hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. But without further ado, this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Gosh, we have some of the most stupidest people at just these, higher CEOs like ever.